Real Chicagoans woke up this morning relieved that the Department of Justice is finally investigating your race hustle. As someone who grew up on the south side of Chicago, I've heard a lot of race hustlers in my life, trust me, but they were usually marching around outside of City Hall, which is what makes this so embarrassing and dangerous.
And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton, and it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you this content. Now, y'all know that recently I have been saying I don't understand your boy, Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago. My man seems all mixed up. He doesn't really seem like he knows what he's doing. He has one of the worst approval ratings of any leader in the entire country, and that's including the U.S. Congress. He's like half of the U.S. Congress in approval rating, and they're at like 14%. So he's somewhere down in the 7% range. So that tells you how much the Chicagoans like or dislike the job that he's doing. But I've been confused by him, y'all. I've been confused because he seems like an educated guy. He seems like he's probably a good guy. And I'm like, why does he have these terrible policies? And now it finally makes sense to me. See, y'all, going around X, okay, there's a video of his constituents going in on him, taking him to task for his policies and for his treatment of people who are in the country without permission. They're saying, look, we're your constituents. We're born here. We're bred here. We're raised here. And you're taking all of our money, you're giving it to them, and you're putting Chicago in debt. Meanwhile, we need services, okay? And I'm about to show you those clips here in a second. And then it hit me. That must be what happened with him. He got taken to task so often and so viciously that eventually he tried to rebrand himself as a civil rights leader. So you see how that could work? So he's confronted with this migrant influx. He really doesn't know what to do. He takes the people's money, gives it to the migrants. The people revolt, and then he tries to overcompensate by rebranding himself as a civil rights leader and champion of the same people who have already told him, we severely dislike what you've done and we don't want you. So I'm going to paint the picture for y'all here. First, I'm going to show you the video of the revolt. Then I'm going to show you the pushback, the backlash on his rebranding of himself as a civil rights leader, which also is not working. So first, let's go ahead and take a look at some of his angry constituents who revolted against him just here recently. Let's take a look. But before we do, y'all, have you seen that the United States just recently attacked Iran? Look, y'all, I'm not gonna make this a long one, but this is a new commercial. Y'all know I've been running the same commercial for a while. Y'all, I'm gonna make it short. I'm gonna make it sweet. If you want to protect your retirement against all this craziness happening in the world, consider gold. It's been around for over 5,000 years. It's the hardest money that mankind knows. I have chosen gold for part of my portfolio. Maybe you should as well. Go to Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com. Put in your information, download the free report, read it, and talk to our partners at Augusta Precious Metals at 844-651-8334. Take a look at it, y'all. It could be for you.
You all sit up there and said you will not allow Trump to come in here and get these illegals. Yeah, you can smile. We're in $1 billion deficit. And you spent half of our money, half of that on illegals. You campaign and double down that you would not raise property taxes.
I won't raise your property taxes.
You wanted to raise our taxes $300 million. They shut it down. Now we back here for $150 million. Okay. See, this is what we asking now. Since you want to crash out, some of y'all said y'all willing to go to jail for it. Trump, Tom Homan, make an example of this right here first. Please come here first. Spend our tax dollars to go. Michael Rodriguez, you said to take Trump to court to protect these illegals. That's cool because we about to make all of y'all aldermen famous. Y'all think this is how it's gonna ride? I think not. Flip Chicago red. We not playing.
This was gonna happen to you. You got Kash Patel, and Pam Bundy that you're going to have to deal with sooner than later. Then it's going to be an audit. Next, it's going to be an investigation. Then it's going to be an indictment. Conviction. That's what's going to happen to you.
Mr. Brandon Johnson, I'm up here. I am speaking right now, so I would love your undivided attention, please. I'll wait. So this just proves to you the lack of leadership that you show in this city. You can't even give me straight eye contact. Now, I'm gonna let you know now, the people of Chicago, we're done with you. It is insane how we have been voting Democrat for over 60 plus years, and we've never seen a change from people like you, Lori Lightfoot, Rob Emanuel. It is insane. Chicago was 37% red. In 2020, it was only 15%. So we're waking up. So you can pretend that this isn't happening, but I know for a fact that you will not have that seat the next election.
You so strong about protecting those aliens, but you won't do nothing for the U.S. citizens.
All right, so there you see many of the Chicagoans who took him to task. Y'all, there are so many examples of this. This was just a good montage that was posted on X, and I think it really shows what the Chicagoans were saying to him. So many different instances of this, but just take that as a representative sample. So what did Brandon Johnson do? In my opinion, he tried to rebrand himself as a civil rights leader. That ran him into problems with other Chicagoans and also the Trump administration. So it got so bad that one reporter, I would say one brave reporter decided he's just gonna call Brandon Johnson out every opportunity he can. So now he's getting called out not only by his constituents, but also by the press. And this is on top of an investigation that the Trump administration opened into him due to what they say are racist hiring practices. So let's take a look at that.
Mayor Johnson, Reverend Jackson, Jesse Jackson, and Al Sharpton wrote a letter to Donald Trump asking him to drop the DOJ investigation into your racist hiring practices. Yet yesterday you announced a reparations fund saying investing in black is not a criminal act. Do you think that these continued race-based actions on behalf of your administration are going to improve the case or hurt the case with not only the DOJ but Chicagoans who don't have lost a lot of faith in you due to these racist hiring practices? And please give a real answer, not just a yes or no answer.
I believe the people of Chicago not only deserve these investments on the west and south side of Chicago, but I believe the people of Chicago have been disappointed that previous administrations refused to do that in the past.
Many Chicagoans have told me that they
That
see
number has
this.
come down. Is it millions, thousands, now to just
I
many?
guarantee you my numbers are better than yours. I guarantee
How many?
that.
How many Chicagoans have you spoken to?
Hundreds of thousands, if not millions,
Millions.
like, share, comment. And they tell me, Mr. Mayor, that this letter that you asked Reverend Jackson and Al Sharpton to write actually makes you look guilty. It makes you look like you're afraid of the civil penalties that you will be personally responsible for.
Okay.
Do you feel that this letter will somehow result in a preemptive pardon? And please answer the question.
Well, I'm not afraid to invest in the people of Chicago, and I hope you're doing much better.
Thank you. We'll go to Charlie.
I hope you'll do much better.
So there you have it, people. Brandon Johnson had said, hey, my city's a welcoming city. So when they started to flood across the border, Texas said, oh, you want to welcome them? Here they come. And Johnson didn't know what to do, so he just started spending all the city's money on them. His constituents, the people, the people who built the city, who had been living in Chicago, who had been paying taxes, they said, why are you giving them all our money? And they revolted against him. So then, in order to compensate for that, or maybe overcompensate, he turned himself, in his own eyes, into a civil rights leader who's fighting for those same people who he just sold under the bus. You see, that's the way I see it. I want to know, what do you think? What do you think about this theory? Particularly my Chicago people. Let me know what y'all think about this. Drop a comment down below, but before you do, please stop, hit the share button, share this video out over email, text message, WhatsApp, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all of your favorite social mediums. And of course, if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. For all of my people, you already saw my commercial. You already know about Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com. Call our people at Augusta Precious Metals at 844-651-8334. Find out about protecting your retirement with gold, the longest, strongest money that mankind has ever known. It's even in the Bible, people. What more do you want? Want to thank y'all for watching. Love y'all, and we'll see you back in the next one.
Real Chicagoans woke up this morning relieved that the Department of Justice is finally investigating your race hustle. As someone who grew up on the south side of Chicago, I've heard a lot of race hustlers in my life, trust me, but they were usually marching around outside of City Hall, which is what makes this so embarrassing and dangerous. Very, very dangerous to the city of Chicago.
Okay, we need the question.
I'm more than happy to ask this question. It's long overdue. For over a year, real Chicagoans, white and black, have been telling me that your black power rhetoric is bringing the city backwards from a place that
We need the question.
had overcome. You want the question?
Please.
Real Chicagoans want to know, why are you a racist?
Well, first of all, I reject the idea and the premise that somehow that's an actual legitimate question.
You want that?
All right, we're going to go to the next one. Alice?
The next question, my follow-up question is a businessman, Robert Gomez, had his riverfront restaurant license yanked. You said that the reason you hire black people is because they're the most generous race on the planet. His riverfront restaurant license was yanked and given to a black restaurateur. That has, once again, reinforced the belief among real Chicagoans,
Okay.
white and black
We need
and
the
Mexican,
question.
that you are a racist. What do you say to those people?
Again, I reject the premise that somehow that your question has any legitimacy. Thank you for your time.